Okay, el pretérito regular, parte 2. Please open your libro de your libro de apuntes de español 2, and let's begin the notes over the regular preterite tense part 2. If you need additional information or want to see this presented in a different way, you can check out pages 16 and 17 in your textbook. Yesterday we covered some basics on the preterite tense. Today I'm going to give you just a couple more pieces of information. I wanted you to focus on the regular rules before I added in anything else special. So, here we go. Los verbos car, gar, y ser. AR verbs that end in car, gar, and zar are special. The letters C, G, and Z change their sounds before the letter E in the preterite yo form. If you'll remember, the yo form ending for AR verbs is E with an accent. And that E changes the sound, like I said, in the C, the G, and the Z. So, therefore, in the yo forms only, we have to change the C, G, and Z. We want to keep their original sound from the infinitive. We want that car, gar, and zar sound. Los cambios de la ortografía, so the changes in spelling. The C changes to QU, so imparcar, we want to keep that K sound, so we change the C to imparque, to QU, to have the imparque, to keep this as the hard C sound. If we didn't make that change, it would be pronounced imparse, and we don't want the C to be pronounced that way. Alright, you're going to change your G's to GU, so we have apagar becomes apague. If we had left this as just a regular G, it would be pronounced like apage, and we don't want that sound. We need that hard G sound, that G sound. And then finally, the Z changes to a C, as we said before, so empezar becomes empecé. If you did not make this stem change here with the C, then it would be pronounced more like empecé, and it has that zippy Z sound like we have in English, and we don't want it to be that intense. And please remember to leave all other forms the same. There's no spelling change in the tú, the él, ellos, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, or ustedes forms. Okay. Los verbos bota en el pretérito, so boot verbs or stem changers in the preterite tense, are less complicated than they are in the present. AR and ER verbs that stem change in the present tense do not stem change in the preterite tense. Hallelujah. Two categories of verbs we don't even have to think about. So if it ends in an AR or ER, you don't even have to question whether or not it's a stem changer. IR stem changers are the only verbs that stem change in the preterite tense. These stem changers require different stem changes in the preterite than they do in the present tense. If you'll remember, in present tense, the E changes to an IE, or it changes to just I, and then O changes to UE. But it's more simple in the past tense. If it's an E, it becomes an I. If it's an O, it becomes a U. Okay, los verbos botan el pretérito. Unos otros más, a few more facts. IR stem changers only change in the él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, and ustedes forms. So it's that whole bottom row of the chart. So if you'll notice in the yo form it's pedí, and in the two form it's pediste. Over here we have pedimos, pedistes. Only the he, she form and the they forms change. So it's pidió and pidieron. So instead of having a boot this time, it's almost like you have a flip-flop here. So it's just the bottom row. Okay. La práctica. Empezamos con cargar. I'd like for you to go ahead and pause the video. Take a second and practice conjugating these verbs, and then hit play and check your answers. So go ahead. Okay, I give you two forms of each verb just to kind of give you an idea here about the spelling change being in the yo form only. So yo en buscar becomes busqué versus ella buscar, which is buscó. Same thing with jugar. Yo jugué, ellos jugaron. No stem change here, or I'm sorry, no spelling change here. Yo abrazar, abracé, versus to abrazar, abrazaste. Okay, now I'd like for you to do the same thing with the IR stem changers. Pause the video and then play back to check your answers. Okay, so again over here, two forms for each verb. In the yo form, dormir stays dormi. In the he, she form, it's dormió. Preferir, tu preferir becomes preferiste versus ellos preferir, and that's preferieron. So this here, this I, was previously an E, and it just changes to an I in the he, she, and the they forms. If you have any questions over this information, please jot them down in your notes, and make sure that you have this in class tomorrow so you can take the homework check. Thanks.